Howdy folks, Bluesboyjag here, you know the drill. Yet another 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. It's Poor Black Mattie alternate version by R.L. Burnside. So we are tuned to open G, that's an A string tuned down to G, a D string tuned normal to D, and a G string or 3rd string tuned normal to G. G, D, G. So, R.L. Burnside, one of the greatest of the hill country bluesmen, probably the most famous of all the hill country bluesmen. This is a very cool, funky song. It's easy, actually. It's pretty easy. There's only 2 parts to it. There's the main riff, which is... This is an alternate version compared to some of his other ones. I did a lesson a couple of days ago, which is a different version. So that's the main riff of the song. The second part, which I call the bridge, which is part 2 of the song. There's only 2 riffs, 2 parts. So what you're doing is... That's as close as I can get to it anyway on the 3rd string. That's how I've been playing it for years. And you go back to the main riff. So I'm going to slow this down and give you all the details. I'm using my nail of my 1st finger. I never use a pick when I play cigar box guitar. I have way more intricate options for me to play. And it makes it easier because the neck of a 3-string cigar box guitar is pretty skinny. And there's just not a whole lot of room to go down and up. I mean, you can do some strumming, but your strum path is just tiny. So it's kind of hard to do it that way, and it's also hard to play lead with a pick, for me anyway. I know some people use a pick, but don't like them at all on the 3-string. A 4-string sort of kind of is better, but we won't get into all that. All right, so first, what you want to do is put your 1st finger on the 1st string 5th fret, and we're going to slide up. So I'm doing a strum and then a slide, then a up. So we do the first downstroke and we slide up. Then I do another upstroke. So I'm only moving up 2 frets. There's one more little thing we got to do here. Actually, there's a couple more things, but to make this riff happen, I'm adding my pinky here on the 10th fret. Remember, upstrum. And another up. Then you put your pinky down on 110. Then you do ba-da-da-da, which is ba-da-da-da, up, down, up, down. And everything is scrunched together. Ba-doo-ba-lap and ba-da-lap, ba-doo-ba-lap and ba-da-lap. Now we go back down here to the 3rd fret. 1st string, and I'm playing all 3 strings, and I'm playing all 3 strings open. So the main riff, I'm also choking down here. Now, a little bit of clarification here, or maybe not clarification, maybe making it even more muddy. So what I'm doing is sliding up and doing that part. I'm choking with the 2nd and 3rd finger. They're flopping all over the place. So when I press down that 1st string with my 1st finger, this is how it looks. Thumb's not doing anything, it's just hanging over the edge, not touching anything. So ignore my thumb. My thumb is killing the 3rd string, although it doesn't really need to, because I'm not strumming the 3rd string. But if you happen to strum the 3rd string, it's not bad. So it's part of the G chord, right? But I do like to get that bass note out personally because I want to hear that bam, bam, bam. and the G string sometimes kind of overpowers it. Anyway, that's just my picky self, right? Okay. Slow. Now here's something that I need to point out. I might go ba-da-da click, ba-da-da click, ba-da-da click. Sometimes I go ba-da-da. I do all three. So sometimes I do ba-da-da click, and sometimes I do ba-da-da chord. Sorry, that's the only way I can describe it. Ba-da-da click. Whoops, that was the chord. Ba-da-da click, ba-da-da chord. Ba-da-da click, ba-da-da chord. That makes sense. All right. One thing that's real important that I completely forgot about. You got to hang on that very first note before you slide. So don't go la-lit, la-lit, la-lit. You want to go ba-da-da-lit. Okay, so we spent 7 minutes with the intro, but hey, these little licks are important. Okay, so now, the next part. So I'm pulling off that first string, 3rd fret, then I'm immediately hitting the big low G. Let me move my camera down just a bit so you can see that better. So I'm using my first finger to pull off 1, 3. Then I'm immediately hitting the low G on the 3rd string. So it's biddle-dum bow, ba-da, biddle-dum bow, ba-da. So there's lots of ways you can do that. I like to personally do finger picking. So I'm using my 2nd or 1st finger, and I'm pulling this 1st string off from the 3rd fret to 0. Then I'm immediately playing the bass note. Real slow. You know I'm pulling off the 3rd fret, so you don't need to see the 3rd fret. So let's zoom in on this. That's the whole song. So the main riff is that, and then the bridge, I don't know, maybe just riff number 2 would be. So notice when I do that pull off, I'm accenting that chord. It's louder than the other chords. It's biddle-dum bow da boo da boo da boo, biddle-dum bow da boo da boo da boo. Oh, black Mattie, ain't got change of clothes. Well, the fool got drunk, rolled her clothes outdoor. Oh, black Mattie, ain't got change of clothes. Hit the wrong note. So I'm playing that pretty fast, and I'm strumming pretty fast too. So some of the nuances that I showed you earlier are sort of kind of glossed over. That's not bad, that's just different, right? So don't get into your head that you gotta do it this way. Hill country music, do it your way. Have some fun with it. So I've showed you this before. I can show you one more thing on this. I'm using my first finger and I'm using the nail to do this strumming. So I'm going. So this is what I'm doing. So. That's a whole nother version of the video I did yesterday. 3-string cigar box guitar, R.L. Burnside, Poor Black Mattie. Enjoy that. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my website right there, jagshouse.com. Cigar box guitars just like this one, over 4,000 sold. And we will see you next time, I promise.